Okay, here's the 1963 C30 I drive every day. And I'm making this video to show you all the bits and pieces it's made out of, and I don't think I can remember all of them at this point. So we're just going to start back to front and tell you what everything is as it comes to me. This is just to prove that anybody can build anything in their backyard with enough resourcefulness. Okay, starting all the way at the back. This very rusty bed has been crudely chopped off and capped. The bed was 12 feet long. It's now 9 feet. It came off of a 99 F450. The rear end came out of a 74 C30. This is the pickup with dually rear end, which is wider than a cab and chassis. It's 8 feet wide from the outside of the tires. That over there is the narrow dually. Oh, wait, do I have one with outside duals on it? This doesn't have outside duals on it. But yeah, you can see the difference in width from the inside of the tire to the spring. Whereas here you got 6 inches. So it handles awesome being so wide. This muffler is a Thrush Turbo that I bought when I was 17 years old. I had this on my first pickup. This section of pipe came from my first pickup truck. Oh, the back half of the drive shaft came out of a 1976 C30. The front half of the drive shaft from, it's kind of dark under here, you can't really see, but from the center bearing forward came from a different 63 C30. These cab mounts came from a different 63 C30. Also, here's, you can see the modification you can do. These shear type cab mounts have rubber vulcanized to them, and as they get old, the rubber falls off, so you can just drill a big whopping hole through there, stick a 1/2 inch bolt right through, and you're going down the road again. The transmission came out of a 1970 one-ton step van. The shifter came out of a 1991 R30 that was my friend's. I should be telling the story of how I acquired all these parts. Yeah, that's for another time. Putting a new cap and rotor in this. Make sure you get distributor caps with brass terminals. I learned my lesson on that one. The cheap ones have aluminum contacts and they corrode quickly. Anyways, the driver's seat came from a 2002 Nissan Sentra, which was my mother's car at one point in time that I drove for a while. The seat belt, this one anyways, is the center lap belt for 1984 Chevy S10. That was my father's and I was a little kid. So when I was a little, 4 or 5, actually from the time I was born until I was 10 years old, if I was sitting in the middle, I was wearing this seat belt. So we got a bit of nostalgia with our seats. Steering wheels, new parts. This was in my buddy's sister's 56 Chevy half-ton. This little stub here that it's mounted to is this is a washer welded to the end of this stub right here is a piece of a snowblower handle. The bearing came off of some machine at the bottling shop my old man works at. The tachometer was in my first pickup truck, 1986 D250. I'm gonna tuck my wires in. Kind of looks like shit. I really hesitate to show this on camera, but when I was wiring the taillights, I ran out of wire, and there is an orange extension cord going to the back for your, common left and right. Not particularly proud of that one, but it worked. As far as I can tell, all the sheet metal started life together. The hood came from a different truck that had been swapped when I got it. It was gold and I painted it gray because I couldn't take the gold anymore. This cowl piece came off of a 65 half-ton step side because it had the radio hole in it. I have another one that doesn't have the radio hole. I had a radio at one time. Let's open this up. Okay. Where to begin? All the wheels I acquired at swap meets and from friends. The exhaust manifolds I had to buy new. Oh, here's an interesting one for you. These accessory brackets, this water pump pulley, the crank pulley, came off of a 1978 400. The 400 has a smaller water pump pulley. So when you go to buy belts for a 78 400, they always give you a belt that's too long because the 350 has a bigger water pump pulley to spin the water pump slower. A 400 has a smaller water pump that they spin faster. Don't ask me why, but that's something you need to know. The long block is a 1993 Buick Roadmaster estate wagon donation. It was my buddy's grandfather's car. It was rusted to death. It has a roller camshaft. That's why we decided to use it. It's the LO5 roller. I think it's like 390 lift, 190 degrees of duration. It's kind of like a camshaft, only smaller. The distributor came off of my friend's 1983 Chevy K20. That distributor was on the truck that I got my driver's license in the day I got my license. I actually got my driver's license in that 83 K20. So, some more nostalgia for you. I think that's it for parts that came from other vehicles. I mean, there's a lot of aftermarkets, the carburetors, the breather, master, blah, blah, blah. I think that's it for stuff I scrounged from other vehicles. I'll remember 10 other things when I stop recording. That's okay. So, anyways, the point of this whole thing was to show you that you can build something out of junk and it might just be better than the sum of its parts. This is a really good truck. It runs for me every day. It drives nice. It's got plenty of power. We got a lot of hills around here. It handles good for having no sway bars. It even stops pretty good. I mean, it's got drum brakes. I mean, as long as you know how to drive it and keep the brakes cool, they work great. It's got, as you can see, this is a good truck because it was worth putting new tires on all the way around. So, anyways, glad I could share this truck with you. Thanks for watching.